Many people think about the 5D, the fifth dimension, as being this external space, this place that we ascend into one day with our twin flame, never to return again into the 3D, as if it is this separate planet or this very different world. In reality, the fifth dimension, the 5D, exists all around us. And it's not some end destination that you reach once with your twin flame. It is an energetic space through which you are communicating at every point within your connection, even prior to your physical meeting. It is also a space that you will feel yourself ascending into randomly from time to time, even within conversation in real time with your twin flame. In this video, I'll be sharing all the ways twin flames connect through the fifth dimension. I'll also be sharing signs and symptoms of what happens when you are experiencing this 5D connection with your twin flame, because some of these signs may surprise or confuse you when they happen. They may not be what you were expecting the 5D to feel like, so you may not even recognize it when you're there. And if you're listening and you do resonate as a twin flame, I would almost go so far as to say almost definitely you and your twin flame have had conscious 5D experiences. And I say conscious because, again, you are unconsciously connecting through the 5D, through these higher realms of energy at absolutely every moment of your life. But before we get into these 5D twin flame signs, let me introduce myself. My name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Let me know in the comments, either now or as you continue listening to this video, have you had any 5D, fifth dimension experiences with your twin flame? Or any experiences you suspect to be 5D in nature that just had a divine, higher kind of energetic feeling, vibration to them that almost felt surreal? Share in the comments, because, like I always say, in this community here on YouTube, love is catching like wildfire. I don't want this channel to be just me sharing information. We are co-creators of this information, of this knowledge, and I am so grateful to each and every one of you who share your support of me by listening through the comments or as a member on my subliminal site. I see and feel and sense each and every one of you. Thank you for sharing your energy, your insight, your wisdom, your inspiring stories, not just with me, but with everyone else who reads your comment. You may never know how far your words, your inspiration will echo out into all of the universe, into the heart or mind of someone who needs to hear it. So let's get into the 5D, the fifth dimension. Like I said earlier, there is so much misconception when it comes to the 5D because it sounds so fancy, so spiritually evolved that it seems impossible to experience it before we reach some so-called enlightenment. But the fifth dimension is actually an energetic space, a higher dimension, a higher realm of existence that exists everywhere around us. You could think of it as another layer to reality as it's occurring in real time. Twin flames are more easily able to access the fifth dimension when they are together. This is because in order to move into the fifth dimension, we must raise our vibration to a very high frequency. This is possible to do on your own through meditation or through conscious vibration raising techniques. Again, usually over long periods of time if you're doing it alone. However, between twin flames, the reason it's so easy to access the 5D is because twin flames naturally energize one another in a very literal way, not just in the sense that they physically and emotionally energize one another, although this is true. They also energize one another on a very spiritual level. They transfer huge amounts of energy back and forth to one another. This energetic exchange begins prior to their physical meeting and predominantly happens through the heart cord, which has been envisioned as a silver cord which runs between the heart center of one twin flame to the next. And I talk a lot about this heart cord and this heart energy in my heart chakra awakening or activation video if you're curious about more on that. But for the sake of time here, I will just say there are huge amounts of energy going back and forth between you and your twin flame. Oftentimes, this energy is even more greatly intensified when you first physically are in the presence of your twin flame, specifically when you are within 6 feet of one another, because this is when your physical auras, the aura of energy extending outward from your body, is touching your twin flame's aura. This mixing of energies in a very real, tangible, physical way often results in an extreme activation of energy within all 7 chakras, but again, especially the heart center, the heart chakra. It is after this time that twin flames tend to experience most of their conscious, real-time 5D experiences with one another. And I'll list out some of these here. One form of this 5D experience is the communication that happens through telepathy. We are all connected to one another energetically. And on this higher energetic plane in the 5D, there is no physical distance. There are no words. We do not use words to communicate on the 5D. All communication takes place purely energetically. With our twin flame, this may look like telepathy. When we are consciously in the 5D with our twin flame or sensing into the 5th dimension, either in their presence or their absence, we will be able to easily access this telepathic bond through the 5D, through the 5th dimension. We will be able to hear their thoughts, their words, even hear their memories as they are remembering them in their mind. Anything within their mind that they are exuding in the form of thought energy, we are able to easily access and interpret when we are in this 5D space with our twin flame. And again, this form of telepathy can happen while in the room with a twin flame or from thousands of miles away. Like I said earlier, but I feel the need to reiterate, physical distance does not matter. It does not really exist on the 5th dimensional plane. Another way we can experience the 5D in real time with our twin flame is through instantly sensing their emotions. Again, this is a form of energetic information that is translated to us through the 5th dimension. However, there are some more mystical, mysterious signs, ways in which we experience twin flame 5D, because I've talked a lot about telepathy and a lot about sharing emotions with our twin flame. But what I haven't talked much about is this literal energetic higher realm we can be swept up into in our twin flame's presence. Or I should say, even when we are connecting with them from far away, on the phone, over text, or even just through our mind. However, this can be experienced the most intensely in our twin flame's physical presence. When you are exchanging energy at a very high rate of frequency with your twin flame in their physical presence. So let's say, simply by being in the room with your twin flame, like I said, your auras are merging. There is naturally a huge amount of energy moving between you. You could imagine it like a whirlwind of swirling energy, sweeping you both up. this energy is only intensified if you are in conversation with them, because words are another form of energy. So now you are intensifying that energy that was already being exchanged through your physical conversation. Now, oftentimes when you are in deep conversation in person with your twin flame, again, imagine this whirlwind of energy swirling around you and your twin flame. You will feel as though the two of you are being almost lifted off your feet, swept up into this higher realm. And how this feels in real time is everything around you may either go black, like you don't see or process anything else around you, any other person, anything in your physical environment. And this is much more than a cliche, because there's that cliche of the whole world melts away when I'm with you. For twin flames, this has very real connotations. This is quite literally being completely oblivious to everything else around you because of this swirling vortex of energy. And oftentimes, because these two twin flames are usually in a room where no one else that they're connecting to, no one else in the room with them is feeling this energy that is being exchanged between them. So usually everyone else is staying down in the 3D, but it's just the two twin flames alone being swept up into this higher dimension through their exchange of energy. I said this happens very frequently in conversation, especially deep conversation, intimate conversation. But I should say that conversation isn't necessary, because the only necessity, the only requirement for ascending into this fifth dimensional space is to be vibrating at a very high rate of frequency, a very high rate of energy. And like I said, this can happen alone, but it happens much more easily between twin flames. And the verbal energy, the word energy, isn't necessary. Even just the energy of their beings and the energy of their thoughts they are thinking toward each other are enough to sweep them up into this space, especially when combined with the eye contact, which is why I did that entire video on twin flame eye contact, because part of the intensity of eye contact and the physical presence with our twin flame is that it is part of that energetic connection that can really sweep us up into this fifth dimensional space. You may find that when you are in this kind of conversation, this energetic whirlwind, this fifth dimensional space with your twin flame, this is why you will feel as though you are on a planet completely of your own. This is also why sometimes in conversation like this with your twin flame, you may notice that people try to get your attention or try to talk to you, and it's almost as if they don't quite fully exist to you in that space. Or if they do exist, you really can't connect with them when you are connecting with your twin flame in this way. It's as if part of you is absent from this 3D world because you are so very much present in the fifth dimensional realm. So like I said, this can happen in real time, and I find that sometimes in a sustained energetic whirlwind with our twin flame, we can remain in this fifth dimensional space for seconds, minutes, hours. It really depends. But other times it can flicker. So what I mean by flickering is, rather than being swept up fully into this space, let's say that you and your twin flame are at a social gathering or a party. What may happen is you have this connection point. You kind of sweep each other up into this fifth dimension for a second, but then maybe someone gets your attention, or the music gets turned up, or you get distracted in some way, and you're kind of pulled back into the 3D world, the physical world. So you may feel as though you're flickering between these two energetic spaces of feeling so enthralled and connected and on this planet of your own with your twin flame. And then suddenly something pulls you back down into a lower vibration, and you're out of this 5D space and you're back connecting in the physical. I just had a realization, and something I want to share is this can actually also happen when you're alone with your twin flame. It doesn't have to be other people distracting you. It can actually be your own fears, worries, anxieties, or your twins' fears, worries, and anxieties, pulling them back into this lower vibration in the moment. So what can happen is two twin flames can be really deeply connecting in a conversation, opening up to one another. And then one says something that suddenly makes the other feel like, oh no, I'm really letting my guard down. I really need to put my walls back up. The ego steps in and kind of freaks out because of how deeply you're connecting and how surreal this fifth dimension experience is becoming to you. And so you start to have these lower vibration thoughts, fear, anxiety, vulnerability, a need to control the situation or to control how your twin flame is perceiving you or what information you're sharing with them. And these walls go back up, and then suddenly you may be dragged back into the 3D. And again, this can happen in flickering moments, especially if you and your twin flame are in some kind of push-pull dynamic, what we call the runner-chaser, either in a large-scale way, like your twin flame is with someone else or you're with someone else, or in a small-scale way, because like I say on this channel, the runner-chaser energy can flip. And it can switch back and forth even in the moment. Even in a conversation, you can feel yourself pushing and then suddenly pulling away, your twin flame pushing and then pulling away. And part of what happens along with this when it comes to the fifth dimension is you can be experiencing these flickers of heights of connection and closeness and intimacy, being swept up into these higher energetic realms and then suddenly being cut off, being pulled back down into these lower vibrations. Let me know in the comments, by the way, if any of you have experienced this flickering feeling like you're suddenly jumping into the fifth dimension and then being pulled back down by either your own fear or your twin flame's fear. I also want to pause and say here that if you'd like to be able to steady and strengthen this energetic whirlwind between you and your twin flame, so that you can maintain this fifth dimension connection more frequently, which truly does assist you in coming into harmonious physical union, I highly recommend my 7 chakra twin flame clearing subliminal. Because like I said, it is these doubts, worries, insecurities, these lower vibrational thoughts that are what pull us from the fifth dimension to the third dimension again. And again, remember your twin flame is your mirror, so if you feel as if they're pulling away or they're experiencing these negative vibrations, you can actually uplift them, heal them, only by healing within yourself. So the subliminal meditation I've created is designed to assist you on this self-healing inner journey, to dissolve any negative patterns, blockages, fear patterns, any beliefs that are not serving you and your twin flame connection, that are specifically being stored within the 7 energetic centers of the body, that are pulling you into this ego-based 3D mindset rather than allowing you to maintain this fifth dimensional, unconditionally loving connection. You can try it out completely free for 7 days when you create an account on my website, Sound and Soulful. And I also just want to say thank you to all of you who are signing up, who are members on this site, who are supporting my work here on this channel as a member on my subliminal site, and also who are sharing with me your amazing, profound results and shifts you are feeling from listening to this subliminal. So for those of you who haven't yet checked it out, it will be in the pinned comment of this video and in the description box. Another way that twin flames experience the fifth dimension rather than real time, this flickering in their twin flame's presence, is through meditation and dreams. And in fact, this is the time when twin flames most frequently tend to experience a fifth dimensional connection. It doesn't have to be this way. You don't only have to experience the 5D with your twin flame in dreams. It's just that as we sleep, we release all of that resistance. In other words, we release all of those negative thoughts and vibrations and insecurities that tend to pull us down energetically and bring us back into the 3D. Our consciousness is naturally untethered and able to freely drift up into these higher realms where if our twin flame is also there at the same time, we can connect with them astrally on the astral plane, through dreams, through the fifth dimension in a very real way. We can have dream conversations, share dream experiences, receive dream signs and symbols and messages from our twin flame. Another time we can connect with our twin in the fifth dimension is even at random points throughout the day. This tends to happen when we accidentally stumble into a very high frequency, high vibrational space where our mind is clear of our distracting doubts and worries. And if our twin happens to be in that same space at that same time, we can develop a very clear telepathic bond with them from a distance, allowing us to communicate freely in the fifth dimension at seemingly random times throughout the day. This is where you suddenly feel as though you're hearing your twin flame's voice in your mind, seeing their facial expressions, feeling as if they're present with you energetically. Remember, in the fifth dimension, there is no time or space. This is why when you are connecting to this higher realm and your twin flame is connecting to this higher realm, you can experience your twin flame's presence there beside you. And I did a whole video just on sensing their presence, their energy with you. But this is most easily accessible, this being present energetically with one another, when again you are accessing these higher realms, when your energy is high enough and clear of negative vibrations enough that you are ascending into this fifth dimensional space momentarily with your twin flame. I'm kind of speeding up, I know, because I had all these thoughts I wanted to share, but this video is getting kind of long. So I'll just share one last way that twin flames can connect in the fifth dimension, because I often get questions about this, and I am about to record a second podcast for twin flames discussing the twin flame long distance relationship and signs you experience long distance with your twin flame. Because lately I've been getting a lot of questions about what it is possible to experience outside of the physical presence with your twin flame when you're either texting or calling or messaging on social media. So keep an eye out for that video. It should be posted around the same time as this one. But I'll just briefly say here that one way twin flames can connect through the fifth dimension is even while they are texting or calling. Because like I said, you don't have to be in your twin flame's physical presence to connect with them in the fifth dimension. And also, like I said earlier, words are a form of energy, and to access the fifth dimension with our twin flame, we must mutually raise our frequency together, sweep ourselves up into this whirlwind of energy that lifts us into the fifth dimension. So when you are on the phone in verbal conversation with your twin flame, you are especially capable at a distance of being able to create this whirlwind of energy through your words and your shared presence in that moment, even at a distance, to be able to experience some of the same fifth dimensional symptoms and signs I mentioned earlier. But it's really not even limited to these verbal spoken phone calls, because you can even experience this over text. And this is especially true if you and your twin flame are simultaneously holding your phones on your phone in the process of exchanging messages, not just checking your phone randomly throughout the day, but actually seeing each other type, seeing that they have read the message, seeing that they're typing in this very interactive texting format. It is very possible to experience some of the fifth dimensional ascension symptoms, or at least flickers of those symptoms and feelings with your twin flame at a distance. So I know that I just briefly touched on those distant signs because I am going to do a full video on that with more information. But I'm going to go ahead and close this video here. If any of these signs resonated with you, please do leave me a comment and let me know how you personally connect with your twin flame through the fifth dimension. I also just want to say thank you so much to each of you in this beautiful, growing community. Our community is so full of beautiful souls sharing knowledge and experience and support. So if you want to be part of that, please subscribe to this channel. Join our community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again in the next podcast.